organizing, and I was feeling very overwhelmed, disappointed by the lack of engagement. And I think one of those things really comes in because there's a lack of knowledge that we're building in communities of color, and being a queer Latino, it's very important. I realized that it was very important to push these conversations. After that, I continued. I ended up working in politics in Brazil. I moved to Brazil for 10 months. And then when I came back, I was more involved I was offered a position as the Latinx caucus for College Democrats of Massachusetts, which was great. And again, I felt very disappointed. And I discouraged because there was a lack of diversity, and there was also a lack of really true community engagement. All of my work really before that had been with community organizations and how to build power as an activist and how to build power as a community. And I decided to do something about it, and I decided to build my own nonprofit called the Latinx Action Group.
Oh, cool.
And what we do, and our aim that we still go through, our aim is to build bridges of knowledge for college Latinos and people of color. And our strategy here is really working with young folks who are usually in cultural student groups. So we work directly with cultural student groups and universities. And we bring workshops to them and connect them to the community, connect them to...
So real hardcore outreach.
Yes. And it's been an amazing, amazing experience. We've been able to reach at least 5 colleges, BC, Northeastern, BU, Mount Holyoke, and a bunch of other colleges as well. And what we do is that we choose strategic partners in the community. Because what we believe in is that to get people of color, to get young people involved in politics, you have to meet them where they are. And that means bringing organizations and bringing the issues they care about them to them in a space that's comfortable to them. And we found that to be extremely successful, and it's been an amazing, amazing experience. We've built a coalition of more than 200 students where people have continuously come. We've done more than 15 workshops since April 2015. And for example, one workshop that we did was really focused on health and healthcare, and we brought in the leaders in that. So Find a Way Health, Healthcare for all of these huge leaders that are fighting on the legislative side. And what the point of the workshops is to build the power and institutional knowledge for people. Because what I noticed is that a lot of young people and people of color don't have the institutional knowledge to lobby. They don't have the institutional knowledge to how to build activism and things like that. So we're bringing the experts to them. We work directly with community organizations to excite people, and we've seen a lot of people. Now that I'm president of College Democrats of Massachusetts, we sent more than 300 people to New Hampshire. We really organized this semester, and we knocked on nearly 5,000 doors and registered nearly 3,000 voters. But what we saw was extremely successful is that those workshops set us up for success. Because we got all of their contact information, and because we had built that trust relationship, and we built the relationship that we care about what you're talking about, we care about what you're thinking about. Because that relationship was built, I was able to call people up who are Latino, people of color, the Caribbean student organizations, and I was like, hey, I'm really looking for 3 to 4 people to volunteer this weekend in New Hampshire. We have like a goal of 20 to 30, and this is what we want to do, and they were able to do it. So that's the kind of model that we're bringing. I'm bringing as College Democrats president. A model that really focuses on training and workshops and making sure that we're
first
contact with individuals who are not part of the process at all. We're dealing with a lot of people who are. Most cultural organizations are bipartisan. They're not political. They're apolitical. And we're bringing them in because we're meeting them, and we're like, this is not a Democrat meeting. This is a meeting about healthcare. And it's really being focused on the issues, which resonates with Democrats because we're the party that really cares about the issues.
So you started your career in Plymouth, the Cranberry Corner. Then you went to college, got active in college, went back to Brazil, did some working over there, came back. Set up the nonprofit, I assume, right? And now you're a Democrat. And it sounds like you got a good model. You're having a lot of success. Sent a lot of bodies to New Hampshire, not a lot of doors. Tell me something. So a lot of the people who are voting, as you know, we've got a lot of stuff going on in Washington, making a lot of people nervous. and the DNC didn't perform as well as we wanted them to. If somebody comes up to you, what's your elevator pitch? The 3 minutes for why they should vote for you, and the D.
Absolutely. I think that because we have a body of experienced members, and a lot of them have been older, are older, and especially the delegation we sent to the DNC, bringing someone with passion and perspective, and someone with a perspective as someone who's been undocumented, who is Latino, who's also queer, that brings a whole different picture to it. And because I'm not coming to this without, basically me just being like, oh, I want to do this for my own political gain. I want to do this because I see that for all of my identities, if I'm not in the conversation, a lot of things are going to go wrong.
Okay.
And that is the sort of kind of perspective we need. We need someone who's going to be willing to, stand up and be like, maybe we shouldn't do this. And we bring in the experienced voices. There's 8 people who go from Massachusetts to the DNC. 7 out of the 8 of those are experienced, have amazing, campaign experience. But bringing someone who's embedded in the community, who is deeply interested in continuing and really rebuilding the party, and who's passionate and has shown that passion in the last 5 years, I think that's a lot. And opening up leadership spots for individuals, and I try to do that for everything, and we try to make sure that new leaders, and we're allowing them to actually build themselves,
come up to the
top. And one of the things that our new chair is saying is that we're building leaders, and it's important we build those leaders through, if we think about one of the best, a couple of the best Democrats in the state representative, a lot of these leaders started early. They started 19, 20 years old. They ran for office. We have to continue, and we have to allow that to
grow
happen.
the bench.
We have to grow the bench, and we have to allow things to flourish. And I'm not saying I want all young people. I want 1 seat or 2 seats that are young, and then the rest experience. And that's how you actually build a party, and that's how you build a new kind of future for the party.
Now, so we have a new chair, like you mentioned, Gus Bickford, and he's vacating the seat. So you are not getting a full term. You're going to get 3 years. So what I was thinking is, can you tell me what you think the 3 things in the upcoming cycle? We've got to take the Congress in 2018 and the White House in 2020.